Hey, welcome to Zach's Tector and my new series, Gaming
on Sunday morning.
which is where every single Sunday morning, just like today, I'm going to be checking out a game for you guys. Now, like I've been saying the past couple of weeks, we started this series with brand new games and we're kind of in a little bit of a rut in 2017. There's not that many games that are being released right now. So today, we're checking out Shadow of Mordor, which is definitely not a new game, but it just got a lot of recent popularity. Now, this game's been out for years and a lot of people loved it as soon as it did come out. But last week in the Steam Summer Sale, it was down to $3.99 for the Game of the Year edition. And that is a ton of value for such a good game. And also, even more perfect timing is that it's on sale this weekend for $4, so only 1 cent more expensive if you didn't catch it on the Steam Summer Sale. And it's also free to play for 3 or 4 days, I believe, for the Steam weekend free play thing. So we're gonna jump into this. I actually bought this game before the Steam Summer Sale. I think I bought it a few months ago actually, but I didn't really dive into it. I'm only about 9 hours in, but I would say that's more accurate, like of 3 to 4 hours. As far as content goes, I move at a very slow pace, especially for RPGs like this. But before we actually jump into the game, let's go to the Steam Summer Sale, just like we always do. But even before that, I'm gonna let you guys know what I'm sipping on, which is a Coke Vanilla Zero. I know it's a little early in the morning for that, but make sure you guys let me know in the comment section what you're sipping on. Don't judge me drinking soda this early. Anyway, at the store page, we can see that I got a user review of very positive. Obviously, I mean, most of you guys know that this is a pretty good game already. At least I hope so. For system requirements, we're looking at an i5 750, which isn't that impressive, with the GTX 460 as the minimum, and then the recommended is a GTX 660 and an i7 3770. So this game, it definitely looks amazing, and you'll see that, but you can also run it on a pretty low-end computer. So before I don't really want to talk about the story too much of this game because I don't know the Lord of the Rings story, like zero. I don't know it at all. I actually tried to watch the first movie, I think. I don't know if it was actually the first movie, and I didn't even get through it. I know that movie's like 3 hours long or something, so I didn't even get through it. I'm not a big fan of the storyline from what I can tell, but here in the story mode, you can see I'm 14% with about 3.5 hours, which is kind of what I said. The Game of the Year edition, which is for $4 or the $3.99, you also get 2 of these campaign DLCs, which I haven't jumped into at all yet, but I would imagine that it's just more and more content. There's this Trial of War thing, which just seems to be like this open-ended challenge, as you can read there, where you're just fighting, and some of your stuff from the story mode transfers over, which actually seems pretty cool. And then the Nemesis Forge, which we'll get into the Nemesis system in just a bit. So I'm going to jump into the story mode here. So what kind of game is Shadow of Mordor? Well, it's a third-person Assassin's Creed constantly fighting type game. I hope that makes sense. If you've played any Assassin's Creed game, then this will be right up your alley if that's what you're interested in. I'm actually a huge fan of this game, and this genre, and I didn't even know it. Another classic comparison is with the Batman Arkham series, where you just run around and you can literally just constantly keep fighting. But yeah, so that's the genre. Here you can see that I'm about to jump off here, and basically what you do is you have this wide open map. It is open world, which is really, really cool. It's not linear whatsoever. Here you can see I have some story modes that I can do. I have some different type of, I guess these are important events like power struggles and whatnot with the Nemesis system. And then there's also, you can see like just side quests and all sorts of stuff to do. Now, I'm not entirely sure on this part, but I believe this is just the Act 1 zone. This zone right here that you're looking at is not that big, and I actually was going to review this game as a little bit of a negative because by now, even just 3.5 hours in, I'm kind of sick of this color palette. But I heard that I guess in Act 2, I guess that's what they call it, I really don't know. I believe the zone changes and it becomes more green, which is the exact color that I want. Like everything's dead in here except for like that barely green grass. But yeah, so you walk around here and you just do all these campaign stories. Now, so far, I've actually been following the story mode without knowing anything about... I'm just going to try and find some guys here. Without knowing anything about the Lord of the Rings story. And I've actually been following along. I've heard through the reviews and whatnot that people say that it does stray away from the movies. So hopefully that doesn't upset you guys. I don't know. Like, I don't care at all. But... Alright, so let's get into the fighting here. There is a lot of sneaking, which is what I'll show you right now. You automatically sneak through the bushes here, and this is definitely the way that I would want to play whenever you're taking down a lot of people, because here you can just go up and just completely annihilate people just with one click of the button. Now, if I want to take on these two guys, I can also go into whatever this mode is, like focus mode, and I can use my bow for some ranged gameplay, and then I'll just come up here. I would just normally kill this guy with the bow, but I want to fight this guy so you can see what it's like. So the fighting is very, very smooth, but I would say it's only, I mean, it's smooth with a controller, but I would say it's 10 times more smooth with a keyboard and mouse. And why I say that is because I don't really like the camera system with the controller. So you would use the left thumbstick to move your character around the buttons to do the different attacks and whatnot, but you control the camera with the right thumbstick, and I just didn't like controlling the camera with the thumbstick. I didn't think it was as nearly as responsive as a mouse. So whenever I was fighting there and I was clicking away, I was aiming, but just whenever I'm moving the mouse, the camera's moving with me, and it just follows so much better. And if you guys know what aim acceleration is with the mouse, it felt like there was aim acceleration with the controller. So if you would move the right thumbstick to the right, it would go slow, and then if you just keep holding it to the right, not any more or less, just keep holding it, then it would go fast. And I just didn't feel it. Like, I just don't think it felt good at all. So yeah, I played with a controller for... Oh, okay, now here we got a bunch of guys here. This could be this will be a fight here. But yeah, I just didn't... I played with the controller for like 3 hours, I would say, and I just randomly decided to switch to a keyboard and mouse, and I'm just such a fan. Like, here you can see that I just have complete control of my camera, so I like to fight. I like to have my camera like to the side instead of like right here where I would just be above them like this. Like, I don't want to do that. I like to have them to the side, like a little profile shot here. And yeah, this is the fighting. So I'm just massively or rapidly pressing the left thumbstick here to attack. You can see when I have the counter tooltip. Let's see when I get right there. It was here, right there. So hit the right mouse button there, and that counters. The really cool thing about this fighting game compared to other fighting games in this genre is the counter button, no matter what you're doing, if you're performing an execution or if you're just in the middle of an attack, you stop what you're doing and you counter it. So I really, really like that, and that's actually something I didn't like about other fighting games, because I believe like the Batman games, it doesn't counter properly, and this is just so fluid and smooth when I want to counter, and I'm just such a big fan of it. So you have different types of takedowns here. Like there I just knocked somebody down and then I performed an execution. That guy I just killed with a random left attack. The difficulty in this game, in my opinion, is pitch perfect, and I don't play these games often, so if you're experienced in this game, you might think it's actually a little bit too easy, but I think it's pitch perfect because I feel very, very powerful in this game. Whenever I'm going one-on-one, one-on-two, even one-on-three, I don't worry at all. I feel like my character is powerful enough to take him down no matter what. However, if I'm taking on a big mob of guys, kind of like that right there, but a little bit bigger, I will struggle, and I'll die. So that's pretty cool. I think it's perfect. I have to actually control how many people I want to attack, and yeah, I think the difficulty is absolutely perfectly. So speaking of dying, let's get into the Nemesis system, which is basically what this game is known for. Let me figure out how to get to it. So if we go to the Nemesis system here, there's these different, now these are just NPCs, just randomly controlled players or bosses that, this is like their chain of command. I believe down here, what do we have? We have captains, and then we have, who are these? I think these are the war chiefs, I believe. These are the veteran captains, and these are the captains. So yeah, they have their own chain of command, and this thing is extremely dynamic, and it's aka it's always moving. So I had a lot more guys unlocked, but as you can see, I killed a bunch, so these guys are completely unknown. So the way this works is, if I wanted to interrogate somebody, like just a random orc, whatever they call them, I could randomly interrogate them and then get intel based off, and get intel about these war chiefs and captains. So basically these guys are constantly moving up and down the ranks. So if I go and I was to fight this guy, Zog Meat Grinder, and I lost to him and he killed me, he would move up to be either a veteran captain or a war chief. And then if I were to kill him, he would obviously die. He could lose his place as, like, this guy could lose his place as a war chief and get demoted because the captain took over. Like this guy, Ratbag, spoiler alert, he started at the very bottom, not even a captain, and I moved him up for doing kind of missions for him. I don't think I'm affiliated with him anymore. I don't know the storyline, as you can tell, but I moved him all the way up to war chief. So it's constantly moving, and it's really cool because if you die to one of these people, then they move up, and when you fight them again, they remember that they already beat you. They became powerful, you became more powerful, and it's awesome. I think a lot of other games should include like Nemesis system like that. I don't know of any other game that does anything similar like that. So yeah, that's very cool. As far as the storyline goes, I obviously haven't beat it yet, but I've heard from reviews that there's about 12 hours worth of just the main story. Now there's tons of side quests, and the DLC that you get for $4, you get all of the DLC, so I don't know, 30, 40 hours maybe. It just depends on how much you want to do, but that's just a guess. I guess you have unlimited content depending on how much you actually want to dig into that trials mode, I believe, where you just keep fighting. One other thing I wanted to share, let me kill these guys real quick. At the bottom left, you can see you have your health and your arrow shots. I only have 2 left and whatnot. But one thing that I wanted to show you was skill upgrades. Now, the combat so far that you've been seeing might have looked a little bland, and that's because I'm only down to this second tier of skills. As you progress down here and earn more ability points, I think I have to sneeze. Nope. As you earn more ability points, you work your way down and you unlock way cooler takedowns and whatnot. This is what's gonna keep me playing this game, because you know, it gets kind of annoying just clicking the left click button over and over again, just doing basic attacks. So far, I have unlocked like Wraith Flash, which, boom, there's a video of it. That's another cool feature, is all of these skills show videos. I know Far Cry does it as well, and I love that. But that way you don't just have to read like what the skill does and whatnot. It actually shows you what it looks like. So we'll watch this video one more time. You press the R button after getting 8 consecutive shots, and boom, you just like kind of knock everyone back. What else have I unlocked? I've unlocked like Shadow Strike, where I can spend 2 elf shots with the bow and arrow, and that'll get me to a targeted enemy, like just blink me that far. I know I've unlocked another cool one. Wraith Stun. If I tap E, then he kind of gets stunned, and then I can rapidly press that left click button in here. Watch the video, we'll see. So you press E, kind of stuns them, and then it just, bam, you just go in full chaos mode real quick, and that usually kills them, which is pretty cool. So I really like how the game, and especially the actual combat, gets more and more interesting as you progress through the game. And that's personally what's going to keep me going. because this story mode is definitely not going to keep me going. The repetitive combat is what's going to slow me down, and since it won't be repetitive after unlocking everything, that's pretty cool. So I did want to talk about mind controlling real quick, which I don't really see anybody here that I'll be... Oh, there's somebody I can mind control. Let me show you that real quick. So with the Nemesis system, like I said, you unlock intel. Let's see if we can... Hopefully these guys don't see me. Don't see... Oh, no! No! Nope, nope, nope. They didn't see me. Okay. Now I don't know where I'm going, though. I don't know where he went. But anyway, for the Nemesis system, whenever you get intel, you actually have to mind control them to, like, interrogate, I believe the word that they use is. I can't remember. But basically, let me see if I can just... I don't think I can just randomly interrogate these people, but let's see. So you basically hold them like this, and then interrogate... Oh, there we go. So now, this is what it looks like when I'm trying to gain intel from him. I can hit spacebar to gain intel, and then he'll tell me about whoever I want to learn about. So let's say I want to learn about this guy, Horhoth the Swift, whatever, and bam, now I know about him. So why you want to do this is so A, you know where all these people are, but B, look at this page. Oh, nope, see, I don't have intel on him. Let me look at in the army here for someone I have intel on. I have intel on this guy. No, I don't. Hold on. I promise this will be worth it. Rat bag, maybe? Okay, so, yeah, once you have intel, there's certain NPCs that will only give you intel. That guy that I just did only showed us, like, who that person is. But once you gain intel, you can see exactly what weaknesses they have. And this is pretty cool, too, because this changes your style of fighting. Now, I've seen, like, huge weaknesses pages for some of these guys, like this. Look at all these strengths he has. So you want to avoid putting yourself in that situation for all these guys. And you want to fight him with his weakness. So that is very cool, very in-depth system. So that's pretty much it for Shadow of Mordor. I'm a huge fan of this game, despite not liking Game of Thrones, despite not liking Lord of the Rings at all. I think I'm gonna keep playing this every now and then on my off time. Like I said, I really like the difficulty of it. I feel like I can just jump in, kill some people, and then get out of the game. Maybe do a story mission here or there. But I think it's a great game. I highly recommend it. For $4, this is the best game in the world right now. I mean, that's kind of semi-serious, I guess. There's very few games out there that'll provide this much quality value for $4. So yeah, that's gonna wrap up this game. I want to give a quick shout out to Mainframe for hooking me up with the threads with this game all night, sleep all day shirt. You guys have seen me wear this a lot. But yeah, let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this game. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please drop a like down below to help support my channel. And as always, thank you for watching. And please subscribe for more Zach's Tech Turf videos.